So we just had the worst crypto crash in history in terms of liquidations. Over $19 billion were liquidated from the crypto market yesterday, and it has destroyed many altcoin charts. Things just look completely out of sync now. The wicks look absolutely insane. We had total 3 wick from basically, all-time highs almost, all the way down 35% within a day. We had Ethereum wick down to 3.5K from over 4.7K. We had Render. I mean, this one was insane. Render wicked from $3.50 all the way down 90% basically. Casper was another one. On many exchanges, Casper wicked to a penny, 2 cents. Crazy, crazy things just happened in the crypto market. And we basically had a 1-day bear market. We had the equivalent of a typical bear market that could last 6 months to a year in just 1 day. And it wasn't entirely 1 day, it was literally a few hours of a day. And this was all because of Trump and the fact that he put a 100% tariff on China because of things going on regarding rare earth minerals and disputes going on between the two superpowers of China and the US. Now the thing is, nobody saw this coming. I don't care who you are, if you say you knew this crash was going to happen, you're just BSing, okay? The only people who knew this was going to happen are the people in Trump's administration and maybe Trump's family. The regular guys like you and me did not see this coming, and that is the whole point of a black swan event, is that you cannot predict it. It comes out of the blue and it spooks the markets. And that is exactly what happened. Now, it is not over. I want to make my stance on this very clear. I am not of the belief that the bull market is done here. Why am I not of the belief the bull market is done? Because Bitcoin is still above the bull market support band, or it's on it. And most importantly, it is still above the weekly Gaussian channel. You can see how many times we have hit this weekly Gaussian channel. This is my invalidation point of the bull market. Once we get a weekly close within this channel, it is essentially over for me. And we are still relatively far from that. We didn't even really wick to it. So we still have a lot of wiggle room. Yes, it would structurally be pretty bad if Bitcoin was to come down to this Gaussian channel around 100K. But at the same time, look how many times it's held throughout this cycle. So as long as that holds, as long as we're above that, we're in the clear of that, it's all good in terms of a bull market structure. Now, miraculously, Bitcoin did not leave this kind of channel that it is currently in, this trading range. You can see the highs up here. Every time we've come in contact with the upper band, we've rejected. And you can see the lows down here. Every time we've come in contact with the lower band, we have got a bounce. So there's a very clear trading range on Bitcoin right now. And I would say this is typically like a bearish trading range. If you've got like a channel going up like that, it's usually more bearish. If you've got a channel going down like that, it's usually more bullish, right? So I'm not saying this will be the end of the bull market for Bitcoin, but I certainly don't think there's a major move left in the tank for BTC. Like, I don't think it's going to 150 or 200K this year, personally. Could it make another minor high again? It's very possible. But I think there has been some internal damage done now to this bull market. And I don't think it's going to be like an instant recovery with Bitcoin, like some people are saying. Now, with the altcoins, yes, they have been beaten up more than Bitcoin. But, and hear me out on this, the fact that the alts got absolutely obliterated for me means they have hit the reset button and they can finally have a major altcoin rally and they can actually start outperforming Bitcoin. A lot of the levels that people have been looking at have been hit with the altcoins. Ethereum came down and it hit the bull market support band. That is obviously very bullish for Ethereum. Solana came down and basically came almost to the golden pocket. If we look at Sui, it came down way below the golden pocket, but you can see right now it's actually holding on to the golden pocket. So a lot of the alts, despite the fact they had disastrous dumps, they are right now holding their golden pockets, which is very interesting to see. Now, this weekly close is going to be extremely telling for me. if we can get a weekly close on Bitcoin, just in this trading range, to me, it is fine. If we can get a weekly close on Bitcoin within this trading range and we don't fall below it, then we are still very much intact. We're not entering a bear market. And especially if the bull market support band holds and we can stay above that, then structurally speaking, we are still looking fine. We really just came back to where we were, a couple of weeks ago. But with the alts, obviously, they have been way more beaten up than Bitcoin. But the thing is here is this was needed. This has been a flush out. All the longs have been liquidated. All the longs have been stopped out. And this is what was needed to really kickstart the next move up, because all the liquidity right now is building to the upside. And, it's typically after major liquidation events that you see crypto make its biggest rallies, when you see these big V-shaped recoveries, just like what we had with the whole tariff crash back in April. This is another form of a tariff crash, but we typically see these V-shaped recoveries and these impulsive moves after a flush out, after a liquidation event, because all that liquidity starts to build to the upside, and then you get a short squeeze. So what would I be doing right now? People probably asking. I would be taking advantage of these dip opportunities if I can, right? If I've got stables on the side, if I've got cash in the bank, I would be taking advantage of these dips. I actually went and bought some Casper at 5 cents. And, I'm probably going to start deploying even more because, like I said, these types of opportunities where you get these big flush outs, these big black swans, historically speaking, have always been good buying opportunities. You can go and look at the FTX crash. That was a good buying opportunity. You can go and look at the COVID crash. That was a good buying opportunity. So as long as we don't invalidate structurally speaking on Bitcoin, I am still of the belief that we are in a bull market and this is just a flush out event. My targets remain the same. I'm still targeting the 1.618 on total 3 and the 2.618 as a potential blow off top, bullish target. But you guys know I will be taking big profits on total 3 on the altcoins essentially when we hit that 1.618 fib or thereabouts. And I still honestly believe we could hit that at some point in the next few weeks, especially if this whole US-China trade war situation has some, amicable agreement. And Trump is actually supposed to be meeting Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, by October 31st, though the odds are slumping. It currently sits at a 54% chance of the two world leaders meeting. So if they can meet, if they can get things sorted, if they can fix this issue and get back to where we were, this will basically mean we will have a V-shaped recovery because the issue that caused the crash is no longer an issue. It's been nullified. So typically you go straight back to where you were. In fact, sometimes the bounce can bring you even higher because you have this renewed optimism. And like I said, there's been a psychological reset. The fear and greed goes to fear. It means you have even more room to the upside when you actually start moving up again. So this is really one of the things I'm looking at in terms of Polymarket is the Trump and Xi meeting. What are the actual odds of this? Because if this happens, it could genuinely be a very good thing for markets, but it is still unconfirmed and it stands currently around a 50-50 chance, which, is anyone's guess. Now, when it comes to the Fed rate cuts, this is a bit of a different story. We are extremely likely to get a rate cut in October. It currently stands at a 95% chance of a rate cut. And I personally believe we will get this because the Fed have basically already decided that they are going to be cutting rates 3 times this year, in my opinion. So all eyes on the weekly close tomorrow. I'm looking for Bitcoin to close the week above the bull market support band and above this support line that you can see that I have drawn out. If we get both of those ticked off, then we could start moving upwards and we could potentially consider the chances of a V-shaped recovery. But obviously, a lot of this is determined by the actual geopolitics, and I don't have a crystal ball. Like I said, no one predicted this. I did not predict this. I lost a lot of money during this crash, most of which was unrealized, some of which was longs getting stopped out. But like I said, I'm still expecting higher this bull market. I don't think we're going to just end the bull market here without alts truly having a really strong rally. So for that reason, I still think there is more fuel left in the tank. I don't want to talk too much about the VIP group right now because I understand a lot of people are grieving with the market. I don't think it's the best circumstance to currently do that. But if you want somewhere to talk with other members, this is a great place to be. because, we get on voice chats, we talk things through. And, when you're on your own, especially during a crash, it can be a bit daunting. It can be a bit overwhelming. But when you can join a voice chat, talk to other members, it really does help give you peace of mind. So check that out, link down below. I really do appreciate all of you watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.